Hey guys, thanks for stopping and checking out my video today. Today we're going to try to recreate a tumbler that I made last week. And I posted this tumbler online to social media. The response was overwhelming, really. So there's two reasons why I wanted to try to make this tumbler again. One, because of that response. I got quite a few requests for a tutorial, a bunch of questions about what type of materials I use, what type of product I use for the different colors, and like I said, requests for tutorials. And two, the second reason why I wanted to try to redo this is because this cup turned out pretty rad. And to be honest with you, I want one for myself. This one's already spoken for, so I have to give that to its owner. But I want one because I think it turned out rad AF. So I used a few different things in there. Just to give you a little bit of background on me, I know a lot of you guys aren't used to hearing me talk in the videos that I make. I do a lot of time-lapse videos. But I've been working with epoxy for about a year now. I started out wanting to, or still I'm trying to get a countertop business up and off the ground, working with epoxy, doing epoxy coatings over countertops and tabletops and things like that. So when I started on this journey, I guess, about a year or so ago, it was recommended to me that if I wanted to start working with epoxy, I should practice with acrylic paints and do acrylic pouring and acrylic painting like that method. Just to kind of get used to the flow of the material and how epoxy moves or how fluid paintings move and whatnot. So I did that for a couple of months and then jumped right into epoxy, and immediately I fell in love with it. What I found when I was researching everything and trying to learn as much as I could, with the countertop stuff, I found artwork with epoxy, and I fell in love with that medium and that creative side of things, and I started doing a lot of artwork with epoxy. So then, I left the job that I was working at in order to pursue this countertop business, and I started working for a promotional company here closer to town, closer to where I live. This promotional company, makes branded items for different companies. Well, once in a while, we get returns or whatnot, or just giveaways and things like that. Well, one day, they gave every one of us a 30-ounce tumbler, similar to this here. So I decided I'm going to take mine home. I'm going to hydro dip it. Never done it before, never done a tumbler before, but I thought I'm going to go hydro dip my tumbler. So I did, and it turned out pretty cool too, first try. So I was real happy about that. So when I took it to work, and so I had a bunch of coworkers asking me about it, so I decided, you know what, everybody got one handed to them. I might as well make everybody a tumbler. So I started practicing with everybody's at work. The point I'm at now is I'm falling in love with doing tumblers too, just like I did with artwork and countertops and everything else. I just epoxy in general, I enjoy working with. I have a blast with it. There's so much you can do with it. I mean, the possibilities are endless. So being able to add tumblers to the line of products that I offer it's a lot of fun for one, and it's another outlet, creative outlet. And what I want to do is I want to try to see if I can get some of the tricks rather and techniques that I use with artwork to translate to tumblers. I don't know if it's possible, but we're gonna try. That's all I gotta say. So let's go ahead and get started here, guys. I probably rambled for way too long here. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get a base coat going on the tumbler here. Now I used quite a bit of epoxy on this cup. Like I said, the very first one that I did for myself was a hydro dip, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't watch very many videos or anything like I probably should have, because I already had a little bit of experience with epoxy, so I just went for it basically. And that first tumbler that I made, I put about 4 ounces of epoxy on that thing, I think. Way too much, I know now. But at the time, like I said, I didn't really watch a lot of videos. I didn't do a whole lot as far as that goes, so that's what happened. Anyway, let me show you guys something else real quick here. like I said, I started making tumblers for coworkers, things like that. And I started just asking, you know, what colors do you want? What design, what style, glitters, do you want anything like that? And one of my coworkers had taken a liking to one of the paintings that I made, one of the epoxy paintings. So when she gave me her tumbler to design, I asked her what colors she wanted. She said, I want the same colors that are in that painting that you made. Let me grab this painting real quick so I can show you. Right there. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But that's the painting that I made. And she wanted the same colors that are in this painting on a tumbler. There's only 3 colors in there really. There's one blue paste, one aluminum paste, and a white. And the way the blue mixes with the aluminum kind of gives it a different shade of blue. So I hadn't used pastes on a tumbler at all up to this point. I wasn't sure how it was going to turn out, but it turned out pretty cool. So again, like I said, I'm going to make one for myself because I'll be honest with you guys, I had one of those devil and angel moments where you had one little angel on one shoulder and a little devil on the other shoulder. And the devil was like, just keep it. Nobody's ever going to know. And the angel was like, no, you can't do that. It's her cup. So the angel won. She's going to get her cup. But today, I'm getting one too. So, like I said, we're going to get started here. My base coat, I put 30 milliliters, about 1 ounce. Which I know is probably enough for the entire color coat and everything else. But you guys wanted to see a video on how I did the process. I don't know if this is the right way or the wrong way, but this is how I got the look that I got. It's a lot of epoxy, I know, but I'm going to heat it up and I'm going to get everything moving and swirling. So when I do that, we end up losing some of the epoxy, which is another thing that some people hate to do, and I do too. I hate wasting epoxy, but I've kind of gotten used to it with the artwork side of things. When you're working with art on a flat surface, I mean, sometimes you might have to swipe colors a certain way and you're going to lose some off one side, or you might have to tilt your painting a little bit and you're going to lose some off of one end. So for me, I've kind of gotten used to it. So this is a very small amount of epoxy comparative to what I'm used to working with. I'm used to working and mixing up 18, 20 ounces at a time and pouring on a piece. So if I waste a ½ ounce here or there, for me it's not that big a deal. To each their own, I guess, right? So anyway, basically I'm going to get this base coat put on really well. The reason I do this too is, again, from what I've learned from the art side of things. When I do an art piece, I put a base coat down before I put my color coat down, and it gives your color coat a smooth or slick surface to slide against or to move against. Like I said, if you are tilting one of your pieces or doing anything like that, your color coat's going to have somewhere to move. It's not just going to stick to the board. It makes it easier when you're trying to come up with different designs and different styles. Like I said, guys, there's a lot of stuff that I do with artwork, different tricks, techniques, you know, things that you can get certain looks with that I really want to try on tumblers. Now, if I get enough of a positive response here and maybe enough new subscribers, I'll go ahead and try it. You know, I'll do some experiments. I don't mind. Like I said, if I waste a couple of ounces of epoxy here or there, it's not the end of the world, I guess, you know. So, yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do. I want to try to see if I can get some of the artwork stuff that I do to translate over. So, I hope you guys are getting a lot from this video. And if you do, by the time it's over, please subscribe. And like I said, if I see enough new subscriptions and enough interest to this stuff and the experiments that I want to try with epoxy, then I'll give it a shot and I'll keep posting the videos. One of the things that I picked up from one of my mentors, one of my epoxy mentors, when he first started out, he said he wanted to keep all of his stuff a secret. He didn't want to share his secrets with anybody, you know, because he thought somebody was going to take his ideas and this and that. And when I first started out, before he had told me this, I kind of felt the same way. Like, I didn't want to tell anybody what I was doing, how I was doing it, but then he said to me, it's about sharing that knowledge. He's like, who am I to keep that knowledge just for myself? He's like, I got to share this stuff. Somebody else taught it to me. I got to give back, So that's what I want to do too, and I've learned so much from a lot of the groups that I follow on social media. So again, who am I to not share stuff that I've learned, because I'm picking up so much from you guys and the stuff that you guys are doing, which by the way is amazing. I've seen some amazing tumblers. I'm just blown away, and that's part of the reason why I'm just loving doing this. Like I said, it just gives me another project to work on, another item to coat up with epoxy. I love working with epoxy. Like I said, the possibilities are endless. There's so much you can do with it. I literally want to pour on everything. My dog walked by one day, almost got poured on. No joke. So I try to keep a few things close at hand. You got your alcohol on the paper towel to clean your hands and whatnot. Most important thing that I keep by me at arm's reach, cold beverage. Gotta have that cold beverage by hand. Deal with those stressful situations. Okay. Now that we got that going, I'm actually going to change this glove. Alright guys, now we're going to go ahead and I'm going to mix up my paste. A lot of you asked in the comments when I posted a picture of that cup, which by the way, I didn't show you the cup yet. When I posted a picture of that cup, a lot of you are asking what I used. And I used mica powders, I used a couple of pastes, and actually an alcohol ink, which I got to go grab. I don't have that. Okay, I'm back. Okay, I forgot I had an alcohol ink in there also. So we got ultramarine blue, which I'm just going to put a couple of drops of that on there. But what I started with was my pastes. Now pastes are a thick pigment that I use quite a bit when I'm doing artwork or countertops or whatever with epoxy. This is Midnight Blue by Just Resin. Again, guys, I don't know if you can see this or not. I hope you can. But they're really thick, so it doesn't take much to tint your epoxy. I mean, it's exactly what it says. It's a paste. So I just take just a little bit, just at the end of the popsicle stick there. That's going to be enough there. I'm going to split this into 2 cups here. My 2 different color pastes. Losing some. Okay. So I got a little bit of blue. Go ahead and mix that in with my epoxy. that all mixed up in there. That's just a beautiful blue. Like I said, that's Midnight Blue by Just Resin. Beautiful. Okay. Then the second paste I used is aluminum, also by Just Resin. Where did my aluminum paste go? All right, again, we're going to take just a little, that's aluminum. This is by Just Resin. I'm going to take just a little bit here on a stick. Mix that in with the resin here. Get that good and mixed up. That's your aluminum. Such a cool color too. All right. So then the mica powders I just sprinkled on dry. I got the paste here that I mixed up with the epoxy. I got the alcohol ink that I'm just going to put just a couple of drops. And then again, the mica powder goes on dry, just sprinkled randomly here and there. Okay, so again, this is the way I did the cup. I don't know if this is the right way or wrong way. Too much epoxy, not enough. I don't know. But you guys requested a video of how I made that cup. This is the process that I used to make that cup. So first what I did is I took my blue and I just went and poured it back and forth in short little lines towards the bottom here because I wanted it to get darker to lighter up top. So I went back and forth, and then every once in a while I'd bring one stripe up here. So I just kind of going and moving already. And then I did the same thing with the aluminum. And I just layered the aluminum right by it. The reason I did that is because, like I showed you that painting, the way the blue mixes with the aluminum is just, it makes a really cool look. That going there. I'm going to save a little of this just in case I need to add, touch up, or you know, want to go a different direction with things. That's another awesome thing about working with epoxy is if you got to switch gears and change what you're doing, change your approach, you can do that. And it doesn't usually hurt anything. You can usually fix mistakes pretty easily, hide them if need be. Alright, so when I did the last one, I started off with this light blue. It's light blue by a company called Atom Tech. I think I got it off Amazon. You got like a variety pack you can order with a bunch of different colors. I just took a little sampler spoon and I always have a problem with getting these to shake off the spoon, so I just kind of, too much there. I just kind of tapped my hand to see if I can get a little pour off, but that didn't work. And then I used a little bit of Shide by Eye Candy. Eye Candy's also got some beautiful mica powders. The Shide is just like a white. In the last cup, it almost gave like a cloud effect, kind of. Which I thought was pretty cool. A little more of the Shide in here. All right. Then I also use this bright silver metallic mica powder, which is just an off-brand. Again, I think I ordered that off of Amazon. A little more of this silver in there. Okay. And then I used Ocean Blue, which is also by Eye Candy. There. And then that ultramarine, alcohol ink, ultramarine blue. I just dropped one drop on one side, let that rotate about 180 degrees. One drop on the other side. That's it. That's all I did. And then we hit it with the heat. And here we go. Go ahead and heat up this middle a little more because I want this alcohol ink. Well, it's starting to move there. I want this spot here to move. Okay. I'm going to take some of this blue here and also put a little up around the rim of the cup here. More. I'm also going to put a little of this aluminum up there on that rim. again. I'm going to scoop up some of the epoxy that landed at the bottom of my turner here that I forgot to put a paper down on. Let's see if I can get this bottom coated a little. Okay, I'm gonna hit this top area with the torch a little bit, try to. Trying to break any surface tension here next to the rim. Your epoxy will pull away from sharp edges if there's surface tension, but you can kind of tap those with your finger and get that area to smooth out. So I'm just trying to make sure I get a good seal all the way to the rim of the cup there. Nailed it. Heck yeah. All right, let me bring you guys in for a closer look here in just a second. So that's it, guys. That's how I made the tumbler using mica powders, alcohol ink, and resin paste. Like I said, guys, if you like what you saw here and if it was helpful at all for you, subscribe to my channel. If I get enough new subscriptions, I'll be willing to do some more tumblers using some of the art methods that I've done with paintings and stuff like that, and we'll see if we can't get that stuff to work. See if we can come up with some more rad tumblers. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.